of year.
We don't run January, yeah, we do,
Yeah, we do.
that's right.
So you want to put in the first one, land use change tax, $7,250, because that's the extra that we've collected.
No, you would change that number to, because this, what you're doing is telling them that
We're going to receive more monies than we'd anticipated.
we projected $5,000, but we're actually receiving $12,250.
Yeah.
So you would put 12,000 on that line. Because if you only put 7,500 on there, or 7,250, the rest of that isn't accounted towards revenues and just ends up in the general fund as unreserved funds.
The only thing I'm going to say to you is that last year on this form, they had a place where you did put in the budget and then you put in the change. So are you sure that for this
I've
form?
done this form
That's fine.
for many years, and
That's
Craig did it last year,
Yep,
and we had a
yep.
problem,
Yes,
and we had to get it fixed.
yes.
And Clifton's done it for about 5 years.
No, that's fine. I'm just,
All we're doing is telling them that throw away our old numbers, and these
Yep.
are the new
and
numbers.
these are the replacements.
Right.
That's fine. So the next one down would be yield
So what
tax.
number do we end up using?
12,250 was what I was going to put in there.
Yeah, we've collected it, you can use it.
My thought is that we would walk through this. I would really like to see the town go to where we don't
Where's page one?
handwrite the form, that we do it on the computer and then have the chairman sign it and submit it. Looks nicer.
Cleaner.
It's a 2-page form.
Yeah, I have page 2.
Which one have you got? You got that one? Okay. Then here's the second.
Oh, I have page 1.
Oh, look, together you have 1 and 2.
All right, I'll share.
Okay, so the next one down, 3185, is timber tax or yield taxes. We've collected 9,385. So I was going to put that.
Yep, that would be the magic number.
And then on penalties and interest, the 10,218.
Yep.
And on motor vehicles, that one's going to be tight.
And that's why we dropped it this year.
That's why we
dropped
this
our
year.
projected from 105,000 down to 99,000.
And
Because we
she-
collected, I think, 100, we ended up collecting like $100,000 last year.
Absolutely. And she is, so at this rate, she may collect like 103,000, but I would,
So at this point, you leave it alone
Leave it alone.
that was
and
my
leave the
thought.
same number in there.
The 62.
No, we projected 99,000
Why couldn't you put a little lower?
because you have September, October, November, and December.
And August. You
I
still have
understand
August.
that, I understand that, but
You
it's a
could,
safety
you can
net.
downgrade, if you want to downgrade it to say 90,000, that's fine, but you just wiped out everything that we just put in there. I mean, if you want to go $95,000 on there instead of 99, cut it by 4,000 just to be sure. But we've always, and since I've been sitting on this board, we've always collected over 100,000. We've collected anywhere from 105 to 115,000.
No, I know,
every
but
year.
at times we have lowballed, but maybe we've lowballed the proposed amount,
We did.
just to
We
be
We did,
safe.
just to
We
be,
did.
just
We
to be
cut
on the
it.
safe
We
side.
cut it by about $6,000
Okay.
this year.
So,
to
yeah,
be
that's
safe.
fine, I can see what you're doing, yeah.
Building permits I left alone, because that's
Are we on cue for that?
3230.
Where are we at for building permits?
We only have an extra
3230.
$58 so far.
The pace of things going, it's not going to be any substantial difference.
Then other licenses, permits and fees.
Same.
The same. So, the highway block grant is a big one. You have 30,000 in room and meals tax, and I think that's about, Dick, have you got your red book? What did we, do you see what we got for room and meals tax last year?
Last year, 30,600.
Yeah. And you've got 30,000 in there, and we never get that, remember, till December.
December 29th.
And they always adjust it every year on us anyway.
Yes,
No matter what I put in those numbers, the state DRA always says, nope, those aren't the right numbers. We're doing it this way.
right. So my thought was to leave that one alone. I think highway block grant, there is the possibility, because we've already collected more than what you put in the budget.
Yeah, I think the highway block grant was almost $30,000 this year.
Well, you've only been paid 2 quarters.
Yeah.
So my thought would be, and the last one was $9,800, my thought would be, it could be another 20,000.
In the file was 08 and 09.
I have a copy of 10.
Okay. I didn't even see 10 in there.
I can get you a copy of 10.
What happened to 11?
I don't know.
Did any of this get anything to consider with things the legislature may have done that
Well,
block grants, for example, may not be coming?
no, if they've promised it to us, they have to pay it. They may reduce the amount.
Next year's, I think, is going to be reduced.
Right, they do have to pay what they've promised so far, was what I've heard in the past.
But they promised us 20.
No,
No,
that's what we
We
projected
budgeted.
because we didn't
Okay,
have.
okay, I see what
Because
you're
we
saying.
At the time that we wrote the budget, we didn't
Yeah.
have the numbers from the state because they don't run calendar year.
right, they run fiscal year, and so a piece of this 22,000 we've got is the last quarter of their last fiscal year, and then the first quarter of the new fiscal year.
Right. And this year's block grant was higher than last year's.
Which was,
Question is, how much do we want to increase it from the 20,000?
last year's block grant was 20, wow, it was 22,000. And we've already gotten 22,000.
I'll look through it tomorrow. I'll be in tomorrow morning. I'll look through more of the files.
All right,
Okay?
I was trying to think,
So at this point, I would say we've collected
22.
22. That would be the number I would use.
Okay,
And then there's your cushion.
Yeah, right.
If for some reason motor vehicles comes in under
right,
99,000,
right,
that extra block grant will offset
yep.
the loss and over.
So I really didn't do anything, everything else was the same. The only other thing I did do on page 2 was the, under 3503 to 3509, other. We did receive the $5,000 grant, which we weren't anticipating. We were
Yep.
hoping for, but we weren't anticipating and didn't put into the budget. So I was gonna add 5,000 there.
There's actually a spot for grants.
Yeah, plus the 3503 with the 3,000. Did you already go over that?
But that's not from
That's the
government, that's
5,000
why.
that I got from,
No,
I got for the grant.
I'm 2 lines above that. That at $3,000, we had not anticipated that as income.
For where?
Oh, right,
3503.
3503. So then that line could go to 8,000.
Town-owned property income.
Yeah,
So you gotta put,
That was rental
how could you
income.
put the 5,000
that
there?
was rental income.
Yeah, you can't put the 5 in there.
Why can't I put 5 for the grant we received?
Well, for grant, yeah.
3509.
Yeah,
Oh, 9, okay.
That would be other as well.
right.
So you would have now 12,000 there.
What?
Or, I'm sorry,
8.
8,000.
8,000 total, if you combine them.
Right.
So you're putting it on 3503?
3503, on this form it's combined,
Yeah.
3503
Oh, okay.
to
Up here, it's
3509.
35303 to 3509.
Yep, I'm sorry.
And that was pretty much all I was gonna do.
Okay, where did
What
you
about
put
the
the 52?
3901?
I didn't, so that was a question to you.
That has to go into, I guess that would be 3501 because, no, where would that go?
That was
That would be-
3501.
No,
It was.
I had it under 3901 looking at the state, but there's no 3901
I
on
believe,
here.
because that was based on taxes, correct? We deeded that because of taxes.
We owned it. We sold it. Legally.
Then
It
that
was
would-
deeded to the town,
Then that would be 3501.
3501.
And you wanna do the whole 52,825?
Yeah, because that's not gonna change.
Right. All right. So what I would propose is that when I do the checks, I will do this form on the computer and leave it for you to sign, Ernie. And then if you'll, just let me know when it's ready, I'll get it faxed down to the state and mailed.
Yeah. And the state has two different fax numbers. 1121 and 6121.
11,
Uh,
so,
271-1121 and also 6121. And the reason I say that is we faxed other things in and they say, well, we never received it. Well, what I
Right.
found out is one of the numbers is upstairs and anything that goes there never gets
it never
downstairs.
gets downstairs? Okay.
So
What number is that?
that's what I'm not 100% sure of. That's why I'm saying we've got two numbers.
So the number that's on this form, I did the form last night, and it was the one revised for August of 2011, has 2713397. Is that what's on your form?
Hang on, this one says 1161, I'm sorry. But I think that's the number I had used and it never went anywhere. Hang on, I sent Jeannie an email asking her to,
Jeannie Sam said for Diana, on the card that you have posted, in the selectman office,
1161
she said it's on
or
there.
6121. She just says they have two fax numbers.
Right, 1161 and 6121.
All I can tell you is one of those numbers, every time we send it there,
Okay.
they never find it.
Goes to fax line.
She said to fax it to the one on the card that you have in your office.
Okay, good.
All right?
Yes,
Could you just summarize that, what we just saw? It sounded like we did pretty well.
there's,
Actually, we brought in more revenues than we actually projected back when we did the budget for 2011. One of them was because we sold a piece of property that we had deeded, and we sold it back to the bank. We've actually done better than expected on a couple of other areas. Not so good on some, but when you add up all the numbers, we are 63,000 above what we projected. So, and what that does is that when we project these, it'll actually go towards next year's tax rate. So when they set the tax rate, I know it's kind of confusing.
Next year being this December or next year
We'll set the tax rate in September, October
with these numbers? in?
for the December taxes.
Okay.
So the
So-
tax rate would be lower.
Well, depending on the value, it all depends on values, revenues, that in our previous budget. So it'll depend on, it's all based on 2011's budget. And then based on some magical number that the DRA comes up with, they start plugging things into their computer. And hopefully this will help reduce that next rate, probably by 20, 30, maybe 40 cents per thousand.
So your total of these transactions is 92,678.
however, there will be, part of our tax rate includes the county and the school district, and between the three of them,
Then you don't have everything on
we're
there.
gonna be working hard to do what we can to keep it
For
down.
as far as
but
that's
we don't
what
have
the
control
revenue
of
is?
everything.
Yeah.
Can't be. Our projected revenue was.
No, I don't have all the revenue on here.
Okay, that's gotta all be
The
on there.
change,
Oh, just our changes.
the changes.